Good morning, students. Today we will be studying one of our English language lessons, the chapter number 24, Writing a Diary. So children, we all read a lot of stories, right? And we all have seen a lot of movies also, right? So similarly children, in our life we have so many memories, we have so many incidents, we have so many events like your birthday, like a shopping day, like a normal day when we get up late in the morning. So all these occasions, all these memories, all these events together children form our day, form our months, our years, our entire life is based on these. Right children? So sometimes children, people take the opportunity to make these important points in their diary. That is what writing a diary is about. Why do we need to write a diary? So that we can enjoy the treasures of our life, enjoy the moments of our life. Okay children, so today we will understand writing a diary. There are different kinds of diaries. They are used to remind one of appointments. They are used like planners in which people make entries about things they must remember to do or things that must be done. They are used to record things that have happened and daily or monthly expenses. Okay, so children, there are various kind of diaries. Suppose today you decide to write a diary. So you will decide what you want to write in it. Whether you want to plan something, whether you want to just, write about your day, about your emotional experiences, whatever you want to write, that everybody writes differently. So similarly, one type of diary is in which one notes the appointments, in which you will plan your day. I will get up at this time in the morning, I will go to school at this time, I will do my homework at this time, I will play with my friends at this time. So you note all these children so that there is a nice schedule, there is a nice plan for your day, and you make use of time wisely. Okay children, so sometimes these planners in which people make entry, they remember things to do, what they must do. Today they have to buy something, today they have to probably do some important work, help someone. All this can be noted, and this all can be noted on daily basis also, monthly basis also, and you can write down your budget as well, your expenses, how much money you are using, how you are using your pocket money. Sometimes children, your mothers or your parents, both of them, they make these budget list also, where they write down how much they have spent in the month, on what things they have spent, so that children, we become better and better in our planning of expenses, planning of time. All these plannings can be for different reasons, sometimes for money, sometimes to plan time so that we don't waste time, we enjoy each and every minute of our day, of our life. Okay, that's what diary is about. Diary helps us to plan every sphere of our life, whether it is money, whether it is emotions. Sometimes some people write their emotional experiences, children. Let's see how. In your school diary, you note down your homework, class assignments, and days on which you have been absent from school. A diary is also personal record of events of one's life, one's thoughts and feelings. So we have seen they have mentioned three types, children, over here. One in which there are appointments and planners. Okay, one in which you wrote down your school diary. You don't write down in your school diary, today I was feeling happy, today I was feeling sad. You don't write in your school diary, today I did this shopping, today I will get up in the morning at this time. No, it is a different kind of diary. It is a diary for your school work, in which you write your homework, you write your projects and assignments to be completed, you write the leave that you are asking from your teacher, your application is mentioned in it. So all these things are mentioned in the school diary. It is a different kind of diary. And there is a personal record diary, children, in which you write about your emotions. I was happy today. Today somebody gave me a gift. Today my birthday celebration was there. Today I helped a person. So all these personal thoughts and feelings are recorded in a personal record diary. So these are the different types of diaries, children. Okay? Some diaries have become famous literary works. The Diary of a Young Girl was written by a 13-year-old girl, Anne Frank. The entries cover the 2 years that Anne, her parents and her sister had to spend in hiding in a warehouse in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, in 1942 to escape being taken prisoner by the Nazis. Okay, so children, all these different types of diaries we know now. A diary is in which we record something. There are different types of diaries. Personal record diary, maybe a school diary, and maybe a planner, an appointment diary. Okay, now like this, children, there are many famous diaries which have become specially recognized to study, that we should look at them and we should study them so that we can employ the same thing in our life. So they have become famous literary works. Literary works meaning, children, they have become famous in the field of language, children, for their contribution as a diary entry, so that we learn from those diary entries. So those diary entries are very influential and we should go through them. So one such important one is the Diary of a Young Girl. Okay, so this young girl, Anne Frank, children, was 13-year-old in 1942. So 1942, children, is the year during which we were having the World War II. Okay, so World War, during that time, children, the Nazis were basically having a lot, they were giving lot of difficulties to people who were not Nazis. So people who were Jews, people who were not fitting in the bracket of Nazis, in their specific criteria, they were killing them, they were torturing them, they were ill-treating them, children. Okay, so because of that, children, these people had to hide. These people had to save their lives. So Anne Frank had to save her family along with her parents and her sister. So they were hiding in a warehouse in Amsterdam so that the Nazis don't take them prisoner and they do not kill them. Okay, children. So because of that, because they were hiding, every day she used to make note what happened. Today I ate this. Today we didn't have anything to eat. Today some people were being killed outside. Some people were being tortured. So this diary is giving us an account of what happened over there. It is giving us a first-hand account direct from the mouth of the person who's experiencing it. So it is such a enlightening and such an informative source of information. Okay, children. Next, children, Anne died young. So it is a very sad information that she did not survive that phase, children. She was ultimately killed and died young, but her diary was found and given to her father, Otto Frank. Anne's diary gives us a very human and moving account of people forced to live in dreadful conditions in terrible times. So it is telling us how terrible the situation was at that time, children, and human life was not at all valued. People were killed very terribly, and they were tortured, and because of that she could not survive. She was also killed, but her diary was handed over to her father, and this diary became an information source for the rest of the world to know what happened to her and the rest of the Jews and the rest of the people who were tortured. Right, children? Another famous diarist is Samuel Pepys, an Englishman. Pepys can also be pronounced as Pepys or Pepys, was born in 1633 and died in 1703. His diary, finally published in 11 volumes long after his death, give us a vivid picture of the life and times of the diarist. So children, over here they are telling the time between 1633 and 1703 is quite some time back, children. We have very less information about this time. How was life at that time? How was the society at that time? How was religion at that time? How was, science at that time? What was the family life at that time? How people used to have entertainment at that time? All this information is very, very rare to us. So this diary written by Samuel Pepys is giving us a clear, vivid meaning, children, clear picture what was life between 1633 and 1703. His description of the Great Fire of London in 1666. So children, there was a very unfortunate incident in London. There was a great fire, children, and because of that great fire, it destroyed about 300 houses and 84 churches. It is the most popular eyewitness account of one of the greatest disasters to befall that city. So children, they are telling us this greatest disaster which killed so many people. Houses were burned, churches were burnt down, children, and we have very less information, but this diary is giving us eyewitness account. Eyewitness account meaning, children, Samuel Pepys was there at that time. He saw everything, he noted everything word to word, time to time, and this information has been put down in how many volumes? I think 11 volumes, children. 11 books it has been put down. There's so much information for the people of the world to get about this particular time. That is how good diary writing is, children. We all should employ diary writing, because when you will open your diary when you're big, you will come to know how beautiful each day of your life was. How, learning each day of your life was, because we learn, we grow each day, and each day written in the diary is going to be a beautiful narrative when you will be studying it, reading it later in your life. The Diary of a Nobody by George and Weedon Grossmith. So, The Diary of a Nobody is the title, by George and Weedon Grossmith, is a work of fiction and in the form of a diary. So, work of fiction, again, children, it is not based on any real story. It is not based on any real life experience. It is a work of imagination, creativity. Okay, so George and Weedon Grossmith wanted to write down a work of fiction in the form of a diary, not in the form of a story, but in the form of diary. Given below are two extracts to give you an idea of how a diary is written. So now, children, we are going to study two extracts of diary writing so that you know how to write a diary. Okay, so children, first of all, there is no particular format of diary. Why? Because everybody writes their diary according to their own wish. They write their diary according to their experience, according to their creativity. So there is no particular format as such. But 2-3 things are important, children. You have a title for the diary. You have the day and the date and the year mentioned, children. Tuesday, 27th April 1943. Now, this is from the diary of a young girl, that is Anne Frank has written this particular extract. The house is still trembling from the after effects of the quarrels. So now we come to know, children, there is a fight that has happened and the house is trembling, meaning it was a very, very bad fight. Whoever was fighting, it was a very, very bad fight. The house is trembling, meaning there is a lot of fear among the people. Everyone is angry with everyone else. So, because, children, sometimes what happens when there is very, very bad time, everybody is fighting with everyone. So, because these people were hiding, they were staying in fear, they were fighting with each other only. Mother and I, Mr. Van Dam, and father, mother and Mrs. Van Dam, everybody was fighting with each other. Terrific atmosphere, don't you think? Our food is terrible. Breakfast consists of plain unbuttered bread and and Essad's coffee. For the last 2 weeks, lunch has been either spinach or cooked lettuce with huge potatoes that have a rotten sweetish taste. If you are trying to slim, this is the place to be. So she's trying to give she's trying to give us all the information in a very children, in a very simple manner. She's not trying to be very sarcastic also. She's saying that we are getting food to eat, though the potatoes are a bit rotten. She's saying that we are getting bread to eat, though it is not having butter on it, it is a plain bread. So she's grateful, as well as she's telling it is not a very good time. If anybody wants to become thin, then this is the place to be. Children, today we are so lucky. Even during times of COVID, children, we are all sitting inside our house, talking to each other, studying, learning, and eating all our meals. We are healthy. Children, this was one time in history which has been the worst times in the entire world, children. The World War II time, in which the Jews were tortured by the Nazis. They were put to such children, such disasters, such treatments, that the entire world felt pity for them. They were not getting proper food to eat. So for weeks they've eaten the same food, that too which tasted rotten, because they didn't have anything else to eat. So this is not this extract is not imagined. This extract is not told to us by someone else, but by a person who was there. Anne Frank was there. So this diary entry is so important to us from historical point of view, from information point of view. Okay, children? Next. Adapted from the diary of a nobody. So this is a work of fiction. Okay, children, this is not based on any real life experience. Let's read it. April 27th. So they have mentioned the date and the month. Painted the bath, that is the bathtub. People have a bath in the bathtub. So they painted the bathtub red and was delighted with the result. Sorry to say, Carrie was not. She said she had never heard of such a thing as bath being painted red. So this was the first entry, that is 27th April. Somebody painted the bath red and he was very happy. Though Carrie did not, Carrie is somebody who's staying with her, maybe a sister, and she said she had never seen such a thing as bath being painted red. Okay, so that was his daily experience of 27th April. What happened on 29th April? April 29th, Sunday. Woke up with a fearful headache and strong symptoms of cold. I had got a chill and decided to have a bath as hot as I could bear it. So because the 29th April, he was having a very bad headache, children, as if he's got cold. So he decided he'll take a nice and warm bath so that he feels better. I got in very hot but acceptable. I lay still for some time. On moving my hand out of the water, I experienced the greatest fright. Imagine my horror on discovering my hand full of blood. My first thought was that I was bleeding to death. So children, this person on 29th April, he got inside the bathtub, on a hot bathtub, though it was very hot, but it was bearable because he wanted to have a nice warm cozy bath. So because of that, he was relaxing nicely, and suddenly he saw his hand full of blood. He thought, why is he bleeding? My second thought was to ring the bell, but there was no bell to ring. My third thought was that it was nothing but the red enamel paint that had dissolved with the boiling water. I stepped out of the bath perfectly red all over. Must tell farmers to come on Monday and paint the bath white. So did you understand, children? On 27th April, he had painted his bathtub red. On 29th, when he had a very hot bath in his bathtub, the entire paint was all over him. And for a second, he was very frightened. He thought he was bleeding to death. He thought that blood is all over his hand. He got really scared. The second thought was he wanted to ring some bell to call someone for help, but there's no bell in the bathtub, there's no bell in the bathroom. The third thought was, okay, this is the red paint that has come out from the bathtub, and now he needs to call the people to come on Monday and paint the bath white. He understood his mistake. So this is how diary entries, help us recall incidents which are happy, recall incidents which are funny, which are very, very sad. Everything can be taken record of, children. Okay? So children, that's the end of the explanation of how a diary entry is. I want you all to go through the chapter once more. These two extracts mentioned over here, children, A and B, I want you all to go through it again. Why, children? Because there is an exercise in this chapter in which now you will write the diary entries. There are many diary entries, titles mentioned. You will be doing any three. Any three diary entries you will be choosing. Any three topics. There are many topics in the exercises, maybe around 10 of them. You have to write any three. Okay, children? And you will be doing it in your English language notebook. It is very simple, children. Just write the title, just write the date, the month, the year, the day of the week, and write your simple diary entry. Whichever topic you like out of the topics mentioned in your language. Chapter 24, Writing a Diary. Thank you so much, children. Have a lovely day. Thank you.